Hi, everybody. It's Jen from Connecting with Jennifer Filzen, and I have with me Gary Gunn, one of my favorite people. He is a business coach who has taught me quite a lot, and so I had to get Gary on this show. Welcome, Gary Gunn.
Well, thank you, Jennifer. Glad to be here. And man, I made a whole look at all these notes I make. I've got
I
to
know,
cover these
right?
notes. See,
You're
so
amazing.
the audience is in for a thrill here because they got two great babblers on the phone. Okay, so we could lose ourselves in this conversation real quick.
Yes, we can. And
So
that's why
yeah,
connecting is happening, right? Forgive me. It's funny, you know, when you have something on you and you're like, what is on me? It's like, no, it's not a spider, it's just my
yeah,
own damn hair. I know, right? Anyway, so
okay.
I want to know, what is Gary Gunn doing in the world right now? And tell us a little bit about the business stuff that you're doing, because you're doing some remarkable things.
Yeah, but I kind of want to go back a little bit of history.
Okay.
Okay, kind of bring you up to speed here. I was recruited into the automotive industry early on in the late 70s. Okay. And once I got into this industry, man, I love the shop owners. I love the car dealers. I love the guys around the body shops. I like the parts house guys. I mean, I liked everybody about the industry. And I was working for a Quaker State Motor Oil distributor in Houston, Texas. So I was in massive amount of shops. And what happened was I felt this was my career path. I had no idea what I was going to be doing. I didn't know if I was going to be selling cars, if I was going to sell equipment, if I was going to sell oil. But somehow or somewhere I was going to fit in. And over time and opportunity really brought me to that spot where I am today. I've witnessed massive successes in the automotive repair market, and I've witnessed very poorly run shops. And that's really sad because they don't have to be that way. And what my quest was, I was going out and say, okay, we've got to fix this. Somehow, because if I don't fix these guys, I won't make a living because they were buying what I was selling, right? So if they weren't profitable, I wouldn't either. So there's some things that we did along the road. We created this thing we called a roadmap gain to success. Very simply, I bought 50 chairs. I bought an overhead acetate. We used to put those plastic films and show
Oh
them on
my
a
gosh.
screen.
Yes, old
And
school.
so we'd go out to a shop owner on Saturday and we would send out all the chairs. And we'd set up and we'd talk about what's making us successful. What are we doing wrong? What is the purpose? And you know how much it costs to join this group? $5 a meeting. $5.
Wow.
And that was to pay for the coffee and donuts that the owner bought for the show. And then we went into what we call a 20 group program for the automotive industry, independent shops. Then I got an AAM degree because I was gaining knowledge, and I became an AIM instructor. And then I became an E-Myth certified coach. Was a $50,000 investment with Mr. Michael Gerber. I hope
Yeah.
he spent that money well.
Yeah.
So then I even crafted and wrote a book called Turnaround Point about the automotive industry. We had some concepts we called budgeting for profit, leadership without breaking a sweat, management with cruise control. And now we're doing something we call showcase mentoring. Like I tell people, this is not taking the place of an existing coaching company you're with. If you're with ATI, you're with Bill Haas, you're with any of these coaching companies out there, Aaron Stokes, stay there. I'm not here to take you away. What I'm here to do is supplement what you're learning to help you implement what they're teaching you.
Nice.
And that's where the real money's made. So that's my business now, is mentoring. We call it showcase. So we showcase these 30 key things that we know if you don't put them in place, then what you're learning is not going to work. So that makes us unique.
Well, I tell you what, you've said several things that just make my heart so happy. First off, I can totally tell that you operate with an abundance mentality because you're not taking anything away. What you're showing is, and I see it in my dance world. There's group lessons and there's private lessons.
Mhm.
You don't drop the group lessons when you get the private lessons. No, you get the two. You have your own personal coach and then you have a
Right.
group coach. And
Mhm.
that only gives you the advantage. So good for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And now,
So,
when was that very first? When did you start doing that? What year?
late 70s.
Late 70s.
Late
And
70s, and probably you may not have been born then, Jennifer.
oh
I'm
no,
not sure
I was there.
age-wise.
I was there, darling. But I will say this, when I look at coaches in the auto repair industry, you, my darling, maybe I'm not correct in my accuracy, but I think you are the first of the automotive coaches. I think that
We're
pretty
one of the pioneers.
one of the pioneers. Yeah,
Yeah.
because as I look at
Yeah.
all the other wonderful coaches in our industry, they all have some kind of touch point with some kind of Gary Gunn training, which is amazing.
Yes.
Let's hear it for
Yeah.
our pioneers. Good for you.
Yeah. 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 Aaron Stokes was in our coaching club. I
Amazing.
coached him. Then we've got many I can tell you about. And what's so great is to see him in that position today.
Yeah.
And see him help these shop owners out there that takes more than just me to do it.
And we're going to need all
So I'm,
that
I'm
help,
glad.
right? With the
Oh yeah.
economy. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Whether the ups
Or,
or downs, you need to have your coach, even especially with the
yeah.
downs, but even during the ups.
Oh yeah. That's so
Mhm.
true.
I
Yeah.
love it.
So that's kind of the uniqueness about Gary Gunn.
I love that. Okay, well, let's talk about your why. You kind of hinted a little bit, but like we all have a why, right? And by
Hmm.
the way, since you and I met, my why has evolved a little bit.
I
But
think
like,
it has.
and I think it does when we get older, right? Because we
Yeah.
accomplish that thing. And then look, there's another
Hmm.
bright, shiny object thing that we have to accomplish.
Right. Right.
So I'm curious, what is your why as of 2023?
Well, again, it goes back. I like to tell a little story. Okay.
Awesome.
So when I was in the equipment business, while working for Quaker State, and I started my own equipment company in 1979. Okay, selling equipment to the automotive shops. The lifts, the brake lathes, the tire changers, all the heavy equipment they were using in the shops. What was the sad story, Jennifer, is that I would ask this shop owner to spend, two, three, four, $5,000. They couldn't write a check for that. And they'd been in business 10, 15, 25, 30 years.
Mm,
And I said, you know what? Something's wrong.
mm,
We have to fix this.
mm,
Because if we don't fix this, our industry's doomed.
mm,
And so what I did is I went out on a quest to find out, wow, why don't they have the money? Right?
mm.
Uh, where is it? What's the missing link? And how can I help facilitate the turnaround of these shops being more successful? Now keep in mind, these are my customers, Jennifer. It's like they're hiring you to do their marketing for them or write their SOPs or do all this stuff, but they have no money to pay you. Well, you
Right,
don't have a business,
right.
okay? But they need to know how to make money to be able to grow and make this work. So that's my why. Is that just I felt that my calling was that in this industry. Now, how well I've done that, only time will tell.
Well, I tell you, one of the stories that I have about you is when COVID was happening. And for those who are outside of our industry and they don't know what a 20 group is, roughly describing it, it's a group coaching team, if you will, with
Mhm,
Gary at the helm and 20 shop owners who are all sharing their numbers, sharing their victories, sharing their
mhm,
frustrations together, learning from each other. It's just this wonderful brotherhood and sisterhood of fellow business owners who are going through the mud with you. And
mhm,
you get like a composite partner who goes through your numbers, like you're paired up and you go through your numbers together. And it just totally allows you to know that one, you're not operating as an island. You are surrounded by people going through the same challenges and victories as you. And it's just this wonderful brotherhood and sisterhood, because it just seems like everyone feels more empowered and supported. The stress levels go down. The cheering section is in there. It's like a total team learning environment, and it's beautiful. So COVID happens, and Gary, you know I like to cuss. Everyone is pretty much saying, "Oh shit, COVID's happening. What do I do?" Right? And they're coming to me,
Right.
"Jen, what marketing can I do? Oh my God." And they're going to Gary, "Oh my God, what do I do?" And, and I remembered one beautiful session that you had. It was just so beautiful because it got my mind. I'm listening to you when you're teaching. You said, "How long is your runway?" You remember that?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
pretty much what you were saying was, how much money do you have in your savings? You should never touch that savings until you have a bona fide emergency. And the
Right.
more money that you have, the longer runway you have to fly your plane. Short runway,
Absolutely.
short flight. Longer runway,
Yeah.
So I remembered COVID was happening. Things, it was starting. I think, Gary, I had about 6 grand as my cushion. And I said, "Oh shit." And you'll be happy to know that I now have 60 grand. Okay. But you are in my head constantly like, okay, okay. And I still need to add more to it, because that needs to
Yeah.
be a cushion, because as you said, you better have 3 months worth of money in there
Yeah.
to keep the thing
Absolutely.
going, so you're not laying off people. Because let's face it, these people are talented and devoted, and they're part of your business family.
Right.
You don't just get rid of them at a whim's notice and then have the audacity to bring them back 2 weeks later. No,
No. No.
no.
No.
Yeah. So
But
thank
that's my
you.
why.
Yeah, that is a great why. I'm
Yeah.
so proud of you. So now, okay, we have people that we serve in our lives, right?
Right.
Clearly, you serve the automotive industry, yes, and all your fellow
Yes.
fellow shop owners, etc. But I'm curious though, who else do you serve in your life?
But
Sometimes
number
people
one.
say church
Yeah.
and God or wife, or
Yes.
who's your number one? Who's your number
My
one?
number one is I serve my Lord, my Jesus Christ, my Savior.
Yeah,
Period. Without him, none of this would be worth doing.
yeah.
And he has sent all these clients to me. I can't believe, I just tell the story after story after story. It's just unbelievable. I'll tell you one shortly. I did a direct mail campaign one time. This guy up in, I think it was Lubbock, Texas, somewhere out in Texas, he took my card and stuck it to the bulletin board above his desk. And he was sitting there praying one morning that, what is he going to do? What is he going to do? And guess what fell off the board? The card fell off the bulletin board on his desk. He called me.
That's so cool.
And he was trying to transition out of the automotive industry and go into full-time ministry. And he didn't know how to get that done. So I helped him set his business up for sale. He sold his business and went into full-time ministry. So, God orchestrates a lot of things. And secondly, I serve my family for second.
Mm,
Then I serve the shop owners in third place.
mm,
And what I like to say is that there's 5 different things. Any of us can be an automotive repair shop owner. All we have to do is get a DBA, rent a building, put a sign up,
mm.
and buy an air compressor and a couple pieces of equipment, and we are an automotive repair shop owner. There's nothing hard to get into. So now what happens when you want to be a business manager? Then you go to a business leader, then you go to a business entrepreneur, and then you go to a wealth strategist. So there are 5 steps you have to go through.
Mm.
Have you ever seen somebody get caught and they act just like they did in high school when they were in the 10th grade, and they never progressed past the 10th grade? They still act the same, they say the same, and all they talk about is what happened in high school. Well, you've been in high school 25 years. Can't you talk about something else?
Yeah, that's where you peaked,
But
honey.
but they
That's
live in the past. So we help them move from owner to manager to leader to entrepreneur to wealth strategist. And this is something that I want to repeat here. I wrote it down. I'll make sure I didn't make a mistake. So we want to take their strategic thinking, then turn it to tactical action that supports what they want to accomplish strategically. So if they want to own multiple units, how does that happen? If they want to own all the competitors in town, what's that look like? What's that look like if they want to have 30 stores? What's that look like if they want to have one and retire in 10 years? So that's the strategy. What's the strategy and what's the tactical things it takes to get there, doesn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. So
Mm.
that is who I serve.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And I got to tell you, I know a lot of coaches. I have yet to hear any of them state the 4 major ladder rungs that you take them up. That's genius.
Yeah.
And I love it that it's like owner to manager to entrepreneur to wealth strategist. Tell me a little bit
Right.
more about that. I know one of your shining examples of who you've coached, Rob Roselle, right?
Yeah.
Right? Who's like the
Rob Roselle
epitome of
coached
wealth
me. He
strategist.
coached me.
I think it was just a combination of the two of you just sharing the love for each other and the knowledge with each other. But like,
Yeah.
let's talk about that a little bit in more depth. Could you please explain the differences between each level?
Yeah. So there's 5 levels.
Oh, sorry,
So
I heard 4. Duh.
well, you left out the leader. Okay.
Oh,
But
whoops.
we'll get to that. We get to that. So first of all, it's easy to become a business owner. It was real hard for you to open up a marketing company, wasn't it? You just figured out I'm going to do it. You popped the door open. You said, "Now I'm in the marketing business." So you're really a business owner, but you really don't want the Samuel you're doing. All right. Then you say, "Okay, well, how do I manage all this? How do I lead all this? How do I become an entrepreneur in my thinking, in my actions, and what I do?"
Yep.
When do I add staff? When do I buy staff? What are they going to be doing? And when comes a wealth strategist is once we get that enough sufficient working capital and we get that money for the runway you were talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we take the additional funds we get from our business and now you become a wealth strategist, don't you?
Mm.
Where am I going to invest that? Am I going to invest in, give you an example of that. A friend of mine up in New York,
Mm-hmm.
he owns 5 other shops. He doesn't own the shop. He owns the dirt and the land. They're his competitor.
Oh, wow.
So his competitors pay him rent.
Yes. So
Now
he
think
wants
about
everyone
that.
to succeed.
Wasn't that an interesting strategy?
I think that is genius,
And
and
that's just one or
it's
two of the,
abundance mentality because all of them
yeah,
need to be successful. And so you'll have inner referrals going on
yeah.
because it's a win-win for everyone.
So he helps his competitors because they're in his building paying him rent.
Wow.
Is it? So that was his strategy. Well, that was kind of his wealth strategist idea, you
Wow.
know. And
Wow.
another story was I was over in Nashville, Tennessee. I was talking to this guy that had 5 stores. And he said, "Gary, let me tell you." He said, walked out the outside of his building. He said, "Look to your left, look to your right, look every direction. I own everything. These 5 stores have given me the income to buy every piece of property you see within blocks, whether it was a dental office, whether it was a plumbing company building. He owned them all."
Wow.
So he went in the real estate business from the money these shops made.
Amazing.
So he was a wealth strategist, wasn't he?
You betcha.
And that's the level that I hope most business owners that you and I run into contact with can get to. That's the 5th level, isn't it?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now we can see an end game, can't we? The plane can land. Yeah.
Boy, you've given me some ideas. Amazing. That is genius, Gary. Oh my gosh. So I could have you here for like 2 hours and just keep going, but
That is true.
I want to be respectful of time though, but I want to hear what advice you have. Now, you are a font of knowledge and information. I don't know how many pieces of advice you want to give us, but I am welcome to like a fountain of knowledge. So please
Okay.
share some advice that you would give.
I've been waiting for this one. Okay.
Oh, all right, here we go.
So
Here's the next 20 minutes.
anybody
Yes.
listening to this call You need to get a piece of paper out right now and a pencil or a pen. And I
He's
want you to
not joking
write
either. I've
this
seen him.
down.
If you're in his
You want to
class
write
and
this down.
yeah, okay, hold on.
I'm going to give you 9 words. 9 words.
Let me get my paper out. Hold on.
Okay.
All right.
And I'm even gonna spell them for you in case you're not ready to spell.
All right,
Okay.
here we go.
First word I want you to write down is heart. Heart.
Okay.
Comes from the heart. That's the heart. Now the second word is head. Head.
Mm-hmm.
The third word is go, like geo. Just simple word go.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth word is become.
Mm-hmm.
Fifth word is time frame. TIMEFRAME. That's one word, time frame.
Mm-hmm.
Sixth word is done, DONE.
Okay.
Seventh word is paint, like PAINT.
Okay.
Eighth word is spell, SPELL. That's what I'm helping you do, spell these words, SPELL.
Okay.
The last one, and the ninth word is not, NOT, with a
Okay.
capital NOT.
Okay.
Now, let me summarize those 9 words for you and see if we got them all, okay?
Okay.
Set your goals that match your heart and your head. Define where you want to go and who you want to become.
Ooh.
Place a time frame on when you are going to be done. Paint a definition of what success means to you in a vivid word picture. Etch it in your mind and deep in your heart. Now, remember one last question for advice. How do you spell success? Make sure it's your definition, not what someone else thinks it ought to be.
Mic drop. Wow. Okay. Wow. I don't know if I have that memorized. Everyone, you're gonna have to go on a rewind and write it all down. But let me see if I got it. Set your goals. I was trying to catch up, but I can only write so fast. Set your goals based on your heart and your head and figure out what it is that you need to do so you can go and become what you have envisioned. Yes? Am I close?
Yep, getting close.
Yep. Then determine the time frame that you want to be done at, because deadlines are important. And if you don't
Absolutely.
have a deadline, it ain't going to happen. Yes?
Nope.
Paint your wishes and goals clearly in your mind and spell it out.
Mm-hmm. A
But
vivid picture.
a vivid picture. And
Right.
when you spell it out, make sure that you're doing it based off of your heart, not someone else's. Did I
Right.
get that right?
Very close.
I don't think I got it
Very
right.
close.
Remind us again.
Very close.
Come on. Give it to us correctly. All right, come on.
All right. Set your goals that match your heart and your head.
Okay.
Define where you want to go and who you want to become.
There you go.
Place a time frame on when you're going to be done.
Okay.
Paint a definition of what success means to you in a vivid word picture, etched in your mind and deep in your heart. Remember one last question for advice. How do you spell success?
That's it.
Make sure it's your definition, not what someone else thinks it ought to be.
Gary Gunn, you're on fire. All right, I got a challenge for you.
Okay.
There are some people watching this going, wow, that feels good. I have no idea what goals to set. What do you say to them?
Very easy to set goals.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what we do in Showcase.
Mm.
Okay. That's why we do. You saw the 30 questions that we asked. We went over that. And once they've completed that, they can take that and say, okay, now, how do these help me get to where I want to go? And how can I define that? Right.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't define your own success, and your success is different than my success, Renee's success is different than his.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's is different.
Right.
All the episodes you have on your calls, every one of those individuals have a separate set of how they define success.
Mhm.
So to me, you've got to assess where you are, and that assessment we use kind of puts you in that position. Now you can determine, okay, yeah, I'm not going to do number 22 and 23, but I want to do number 6, 8, 9, and 10, right? And now you can set that up and fit it into where you're headed.
Oh, Gary, you're amazing. You are such an inspiration and such an encourager. That's what I've seen you do through the years of me knowing you. And you've been around a lot longer than me knowing you. But the point is that from the little bit of time that I've seen, I think we met in 2016, 17, 8. It's
Uh,
around there. I want to,
yeah,
maybe it's 2018.
may have been. Yeah,
Maybe it
it
was
was at
2000.
Vision somewhere.
Yeah, I know, right? Anyway,
Yeah.
so you really have helped so many people, and I've seen you in action, and just you're mesmerizing. You truly are all that and a bag of chips, sir. Love you. All right.
Wow.
We got to tell everybody how to get a hold of you, because whoever wants this magic needs to get a hold. And by the way, he mentioned the 30 questions. It's a class that he teaches. I attended it. Phenomenal. Gets those 30 questions, really gets you dialed in. Where are you doing well? Where are you not doing well? What do you
Hmm.
know? What don't you know? Because sometimes it takes a coach to show you where you're about to be blindsided because you never saw it coming. And
That's
his
right.
30 questions allows you to do that. So, Gary, stage is yours. Tell us how to get a hold of you.
Couple different ways. Here's my direct phone number:
Ooh, I'm writing it down.
270
270
282
282
1262.
1262. Okay.
Well, that's my cell phone. I do
Ooh.
not answer it after 6 o'clock in the evening. I do not answer on the weekends. So if you want to get a hold of me, just call me. If I don't answer, leave me a message. If not, I'm on the phone with a shop owner. I'm on the phone with Jennifer. I'm on the phone with Brian Gillis. I'm on the phone with everybody I can get on the phone with.
Yeah.
So another way would be by email.
Okay.
And that would be Gary, GaryGunn, at autoshopshowcase.com. The website's the same.
Good.
I've got a YouTube channel. I have a podcast. I have Facebook. I got all those things out there, folks, that you can grab a hold of. And I love to do shorts. I'm the shorts man, and I'm going to be the king of shorts.
Nice.
Okay.
On YouTube.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Some of
Excellent.
these things don't make sense, but they did to me and they were funny. So I put them out there.
Right on.
Okay. Yeah.
Right on.
So contact us. And Jennifer, again, thanks for the time and helping me just spread the word more.
Of
And good luck to
course.
you. Yes.
And if they want to get a hold of your book,
Oh, yeah. Well,
tell
I
us.
have it on my YouTube channel, and it's sitting there in audio format, and you can listen to all the chapters. Cost you
Love it. You
nothing.
even read to us? How awesome is
No, I
that?
hired a professional reader. I tried, and I sounded like three dead frogs. Okay,
Oh, stop.
that's so I hired this beautiful voice lady in Nashville, Tennessee, and she just absolutely nailed it. I fell in love with her. So she is the gal. Christy Bowen is the gal that reads the book.
Amazing.
She was marvelous. So
Amazing.
there we go.
Good for
All
you.
right.
Well,
Okay.
bravo, sir. Everybody, thank you so very much for watching. I hope you got some amazing advice and inspiration from Gary Gunn of Auto Shop Showcase. Please don't be shy. Please reach out to him and share this. If you think that somebody in your life who is a business owner, whether they are in the auto repair industry or not, it does not matter. This stuff is
No,
universal. Please share this information with them so they can also succeed and become the wealth strategists they were designed to be.
absolutely.
Thank you so much, Gary. Love you.
All right. Thank you.
Okay,
Bye bye.
bye.